Hey, welcome back. So, what do you say we combine not only a review of a fun little thing that I found, but also some RichCraft? Hi, and welcome back. So, I was wandering around the website for Oriental Trading, which has a bunch of cheap stuff, usually cheap plastic little things for, whatever, just wandering around. And I happened to find something, I think they label it as a Deluxe Wooden Magic Set. And this thing's actually fairly reasonably priced. It sells for under 40 bucks. And it has a whole bunch of different magic stuff that's solid and wood. And usually in magic sets, you see things that are little cheap plastic molded things, which are good. They're fun. I mean, things like this are still good. The little vase where you have the little white ball, which you would put in your pocket or something like that. Cover the vase again, wave your hands, magic wand or something like that, and the ball comes back. And then you cover it again, you wave your hands, snap your fingers, whatever you want, and it vanishes because it has gone back into your pocket. This is a cheap plastic molded thing that is not in the kit, but it's still good, still fun. But to have something in wood seemed like it'd be pretty cool. Plus, sometimes it's fun to dig into magic kits, especially if there's something in there that I know I don't have already. Because even if I learn a new mechanism that maybe I can rebuild, or maybe I can repaint or redo the wooden thing, it'd be fun. So, I'll check it out and I'll show you. So the kit comes with a whole bunch of different stuff. They recommend it for ages 8 and up, and usually the stuff is fairly simple. If you're at least 8, you could probably do most, if not all, of these things. I might tweak some of these things as I do them, but it's cool. And generally speaking, they'll say that it doesn't really require much, if any, sleight of hand, really. And part of that is because of the largest thing in the entire kit. The kit actually comes in this big wooden box. And that is supposed to be the solving of all sleight of hand stuff. It is a wooden box that opens up. It creates a nice little kind of backdrop that you can set in front of you on the table, but place all your magical items in front of it. It's hollowed out there in the inside, and that's all it does. I was kind of disappointed. I was really excited to see what this big thing would do. Like, is it a weird head twister thing? Or a hat? A terrible set of earphones that just makes it sound like you're talking into a tin can or wearing a tin can on. No, it just sits there, and it shields your hands so that anytime that you want to do something sneaky, you can say, look, I have a lens cap from nowhere, and I'm going to make it disappear. It's gone. Amazing. But I'm not going to use this. Now it's a cool looking backdrop I'll have like sitting on a shelf. Looks like it does something. First one I'll say is probably one of the simplest ones. It's this little box. It's got like a little pyramid top to the box. You open it up, it has a little hole there, and it comes with a little red ball. The idea is that you can take the little red ball, place it inside the box like that, and you cover up the box with the lid. You slide the lid over the top to the box. And after you slid it, you can wave your hands, snap your fingers, whatever you want. And the red ball has vanished from the box. And it's tough to see from here, but they actually have rounded the inside of the box. So really there's not like a space. There's no room up here to hide the ball. But yeah, and then you can cover up the box again. Wave your hands, snap your fingers. And the red ball has reappeared in the box. So there's no sleight of hand. It's just the box does the trick. There's another simple little thing. It's this little wooden tube that has these 3 little cylinders in them. And so the idea is that you can take the tube, and if we placed, you can put them in kind of between the blue and the green. We'll do whatever order we want. Randomly, I will select, let's do the blue first, and then we'll do the green, And then we're going to take the red one, we're going to put that on top. The red one's the important one. The red one does all the magic. And so you put the red one into that tube, and we can get the red tube, or the red cylinder, to go from the top and go through the green one. So it's now between the green and the blue. And then we go even further until now it's underneath the green and the blue, so that when you lift the cylinder, the red is first, and then the blue, and then the green. And that's how the colors come out of the cylinder. And again, there's no sleight of hand. That's it kind of does itself. It's a cool trick. It's a simple trick. It's so simplistic in its design that I'm not sure it's one of my favorites. But not everything you get in a magic kit is absolutely killer. So it's a mechanism that I didn't have before. It's a trick I didn't have before. I could take this and I could probably make a bigger version of this one way or the other. And then there's this wonderful little bag that many magicians will already recognize. It has a nice little wooden handle. It's actually a fairly thick wooden handle. And it also has this wonderful little kind of green handkerchief. So you can take that green handkerchief, and when you put it inside the bag, it magically turns into a blue handkerchief. Now, some people might want to look inside the bag at that point, which is completely fine because the bag is empty. The fun part about this is you can even take that blue handkerchief, you can hand it to someone else, to a spectator, and they can place it inside the bag. And then once they've placed it inside the bag, I can then say, okay, other spectator, will you reach inside? And when they reach inside, they will pull out the green handkerchief, and things still remain crazy like that. And some people notice that there is a wonderful little zipper on the bottom of the bag, and that makes it so that you could even place a handkerchief partway into that bag. And we're already seeing the blue coming out of the bag like that, because it really is nothing else in that bag but that magic bag. Another trick kind of mechanism thing that I'd never really had before is one of these magic boxes. So they give you a little wooden magic wand attached, stapled, glued to a red handkerchief. Poorly, but you end up getting the idea. And so the wand, which you could see through that hole in there, but when we stick it through the side of the box, the wand vanishes and comes out the other end. So you can see the wand isn't collapsing on itself. It's absolutely there. It's just somehow going through that box and disappearing, especially once you start pulling that red handkerchief, which would open up and you really should be able to see the whole thing, and yet it just goes right through to the other side invisibly. I've seen a big version of this trick before, but I've never actually owned the actual trick itself, so it's kind of cool to actually have a small version of this. And again, it's nice solid wood. So it's this box, and there are two compartments to this box, or with a little space in the middle. So you have your compartment over here, and you have your compartment over here, and you can put something into that compartment. I recommend a quarter. A coin really is what you want to do. A quarter is a good size because it's a big size. Anything bigger than that, it really doesn't tend to work very well. So the idea is we place the quarter, and I'm going to put it right here in this side, and we're going to actually make the coin vanish completely. You really can choose either side you want. So how we get the coin to vanish completely is we're just going to wave our hands and it vanishes completely. It's gone entirely. Yeah, and in fact, it doesn't even really matter what side you look. It doesn't even really matter what side you look at, because it's not over here. It has vanished completely. It's gone. No, seriously, the coin's gone. It's not there at all. This next one also uses a quarter. I actually do a bigger version of this in my show. It's called Flight of the Phoenix, but I've called it a number of different things. This one we are going to use a quarter. It can be a borrowed quarter, and it can be a signed quarter. Now, you're going to kind of have to trust me on this, because I will make a mark on this coin so that you can see it. And, well, let's see here. Let's do like a with triangle thingy, and, well, I don't know, a couple of dots and a smiley face and little, I don't know, bow on his head type of thing. So when I show you that, it's weird and it's odd enough that the odds of me making that exact same doodle twice are insignificant. I mean, there's almost no way that I could actually make that again. And again, I'm saying that this can be done with a borrowed quarter and someone else signing it. So, now what we're going to do, there's lots of, I don't think it's terribly well explained, the first part of it, but we'll take the coin and we'll just hold it underneath this handkerchief and set that aside. And then we have this box, this cool little rubber banded dragon box thing, which we would also set out. Now, if we hold up the coin in the handkerchief on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3, it vanishes. Again, the method of vanishing the coin is, I forget exactly what they tell you to do. There's a number of different ways that you can do it. I have sneakier ways of making it disappear, but I don't want to misrepresent what this trick allows you to do. But then we have this box, and it's a pretty solid box. It's nice. It's wooden. It's actually being held together by rubber bands. There's a little tray that we can slide out for the other box, but you can't because there's rubber bands holding it in place. And we can't just pull those rubber bands off because we have other rubber bands on the side that have to come off first. So you actually have to pull all those rubber bands and then these rubber bands just to try to even be able to get to the opening of the box. And once we get that box open, it's not even that simple because there's another box inside that first box. So now we've got, and look, this has actually been rubber banded together because there's another opening, but we can't get to that because there's rubber bands holding that, and we can't get to those rubber bands because there's other ones on the side, so those are really stuck in place. So we get those rubber bands up, we still can't, we have to get these rubber bands off before we can't even get to there. All right, and once we've done that, then that box opens up and there's a bag inside. All right, so now there's a little bag inside, and that even has been rubber banded shut. But there's something solid in here. And when we undo that rubber band, there's a quarter inside. And that quarter has the same party hat design. That should be a better way to see it. Same little triangle with a smile and the party hat. And so you can actually get someone's signed quarter to end up inside all of that. That trick is in this kit as well. All right, 3 more. One of them I can't really do for you because I actually need human interaction for this, as it comes with these 6 wooden cards that have a bunch of different numbers on them. You might be familiar with it. You can't see it on that one. You might be familiar with this trick, or you might not. So the idea is that I can have someone pick a number between 1 and 60, and then I can just show them each card and say, hey, is your number on this card? And they just say yes or no. Is your number on this card? Is your number on this, for each of the 6 cards? And then after they've looked at all 6 cards, I can tell them exactly what their number is. A cool little fun, sneaky mathematical trick. All right, these last 2 are my favorites. We have this kind of mummy sarcophagus looking thing with a couple of holes, and it also comes with a bunch of these wooden chips. These wooden chips have 2 sets. Each set has the same symbols on each set. That way, the magician and the volunteer have the same symbols. And it is a prediction trick. So we take this part of the sarcophagus that has the 2 holes, and essentially you take one set of these symbols and you give them to the spectator, and you say, okay, you're going to be able to pick whichever symbols you want in whichever order. Now I, as the a magician, am also getting a set of these symbols that I can use to predict. So what I'm going to do is, in my section of the sarcophagus, I'm going to place a prediction. So we'll say if I picked, this is going to be my first prediction, and I place that in the top part of the sarcophagus. Now with the spectator, I'm legitimately going to just kind of mix them, because you could have someone very intently choosing which symbol they want. I'm going to pick, you can't see, that one got flipped around, and grab a symbol, which in this case is actually going to be that white bird, and we will place that face up. That way everybody can see what that is. It doesn't matter that I can see the symbol because I've already put my prediction down first. Alright, so now that you've done that, I have to make my second prediction. And this shall be my second prediction. Face down so that nobody can see, because if you could see what I predicted, you could just pick something that wasn't the prediction, and, well, nuts to me. Okay, and now, as the, oh yeah, that's right, the spectators, so we're picking randomly. We'll pick, like, this symbol. It's the kind of yellow pokey stabby thing. The yellow pokey stabby. That's what the spectator chose. Alright, now I make my next prediction. I'm going to pick this one. Then the spectator goes through, and they very carefully pick whatever their next one, which is the kind of blue owl-looking bird thing. That was their next one. So now I will make another prediction. It's almost rather my last kind of rather free choice prediction, because the other one will be decided just anyway. And the spectator gets their last free choice, and they're going to pick the yellow, I don't know, iron thing. And that goes in there. All right. And that leaves me with my final prediction, which goes right in the top of the sarcophagus. And the spectator is left with this blue thing that you will know what that is later. So that would go in place. And all this can go be done right in front of everybody. And you can cover the sarcophagus. You don't have to. It really doesn't matter. You could just set this aside and have it be just a display the whole time, which might not be a bad idea, because otherwise it looks a little sketchy. But it fits right over the top, so you could say that it was locked away for 1,000 years, and now story spooky. So then we get into, actually, it might be easier to turn everything over and have it sit down there. So if you remember correctly, the spectator's first choice was the white bird. And, well, guess what? White bird is what I had chosen. The spectator's second choice was the yellow knifey pokey stabby thing. And, well, guess what? Mine was the yellow pokey stabby thing. The next spectator's choice was the blue bird thing. And, well, if you take a look, blue bird thing was my predictor. The next had the yellow irony looking thing was theirs, and my prediction was the yellow iron thing. And finally, there's the blue thing of indeterminate shape, and that was my prediction on that as well. Perfect prediction. Cool trick, actually pretty darn easy. There's one semi-tricky for an 8-year-old type of thing, which means even as an adult, if you don't do magic, it'll take you 5 minutes of practice, 10 minutes maybe, but you'll be able to nail people with it. I obliterated Jesse with it a few times. I nailed Claire with it. It is a really solid trick and solid wood. The last one I found fascinating because it's just a cool visible, I don't know, wooden blocky. It's like an illusion, which all these are illusions, but I don't know. As simple as this thing is, it really kind of got me. So there's this a wooden cagey thing, a block, and there's this other block with a bunch of different symbols and stuff like that on there. So the idea is that when because there are these little holes in the cage, you can actually see inside it. So when you put a block inside there, you have a picture like the little clover or something. You can see through there, and you can see through it from the front, and you can also see it through the top because there's a little hole, so you can see that little block hanging out down there. Now you could switch it to, well, if we turn it around so you couldn't see inside, then you wouldn't be able to tell what picture I put facing you in the block. And you put the lid on there like that. And you can still hear that it's in there, so you know that there's a block in there until all of a sudden you can't hear a block in there because the block has vanished. It's actually gone. The block has completely vanished from it, and that is another really cool kind of illusion, and the fact that everything is right there. Now, there's one little part of that this is one of those things where it's not really a sleight of hand. There's one kind of sneaky thing that you do, and in the instructions, they literally tell you to take the block, place it behind the wooden screen, place it behind there, and then bring it back out, and then, aha, that's not sneaky at all. So I figured a way around it, but it's cool. It's a simple little thing. It's just wood, and yeah. So yeah, that's the Deluxe Wooden Magic Set out of the Oriental Trading online. And again, it's less than $40, and it's got all those nice wooden props that are, I mean, sure, some of the designs, some of the painting and stuff like that could be better, but that's not to say that you couldn't, put your own decals or stickers or something like that on there. Some of these things are giving me inspiration for other ways that I can make that trick happen in whatever ways that makes it look. But also, if you're not like a magician, you're just doing this for fun, that's great. There's plenty of that you can just do for your friends, and it's fun and cool and RichCraft. So thanks for hanging out with me. Thanks for checking out all this RichCraft. And of course, hit the like video, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Check us out at Facebook at Rich Does a Thing. We have accounts on Instagram, on Tumblr, on Twitter, on Dotson, on Blitzen. We have a Discord server. Please check us out at the Patreon and all over the place. And until next time, I will see you later.